The cardinal principle is closely related, in fact, more or less exactly related to the mathematical idea of cardinality and the cardinality of a set, which is essentially just the number of elements that are in a set. That's the cardinality of that set. So when I'm counting it and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that word that I just said so much louder and longer than the rest of them describes the cardinality of this set of objects.
From a teacher standpoint, there's two very different questions that we ask of kids. Many times we say to them, can you count these for me? And what they'll do when they count them is what we saw, right? We use one-to-one correspondence, we use table order, and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That's one thing we ask. However, if we ask a very different question right after that, which is, how many were there? That's a very different question to a student who's beginning to understand the cardinal principle, which is, well, I don't know, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the difference between can you count these and how many are there is a really important distinction for teachers to understand in what they're asking. Because can you count these may give you a misguided understanding that they do understand the cardinal principle, because they do go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're mimicking what they've learned, and they're emphasizing that last number, which is subtly telling the teacher they understand that that last number name has a really important distinction that describes the cardinality of the set. However, until you ask well, how many were there? That's a very different question that gets at the cardinality, understanding the cardinal principle in there.
Okay, my first question is, can you tell me, can you count these cubes?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, so how many are here?
14.
All right, so what if I take these cubes?
So we're defining the cardinal principle as the understanding that students have when they understand that the last number name or the last tag that they make when counting a set of objects is the most important one, because it describes the number of objects in that set. As you'll see in the standard, they describe it very similarly. It reads, understand that the last number name said tells the number of objects counted.
Yeah, and so what's important then is if they do it all over again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They just told you that there are 5, right? But if you ask them how many are there, and they just do that again, and they've mimicked you, well, that's suggesting that they haven't caught on to this sort of the cardinality of this set is 5. They just know that if you ask a question related to counting, they know what they're supposed to do, right. And that's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and this thing that we do, so this is related to sort of as teachers, as parents, we know some of these counting principles, we maybe just don't have a name for it. This thing that is so common, and as we're modeling for children how we count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we emphasize that 5. Well, it's because we are trying to convey that there's something important about that 5, right? And that's what we're getting to. And the word for that, the word for this idea that we're trying to convey, is that 5 is particularly important. It's more important than all those other counting numbers that you just said, because 5 describes not just that thing, but the cardinality of this set.